Hi y'all, and welcome to my channel, my very first video. I want to create for you right now a makeup tutorial, and we're gonna do a talk through. We're gonna talk about what is current. I just want us to just go ahead and share some hope, because there is hope in the midst of chaos. There is hope in the midst of confusion and what we don't understand. So the first thing I'm going to use is my Laneige lip moisturizer. I'm going to put a generous amount, and the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and tone my face. And the reason why I'm using this particular toner, it is the Lancome Comfort Toner. It is very moisturizing. I am going to give a particular foundation one more try. So I'm going to grab a cotton pad, and this is the one I like to use in particular. I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze some of the product, and I'm going to dampen it, and I'm going to clean my face. Not clean, but tone. And so what we're currently facing is something that in the history of the world we have not faced an issue, a crisis worldwide all at the same time. Usually what we hear is different nations experiencing famine, sickness, disease, hunger, just different things. But for the very first time in the history of the world, we are experiencing something that we can all relate to. It's across the border, across nations, not only in the United States, but in the Middle East, in Africa, the Caribbean, you name it. But how do I feel about it? I'm not afraid, and I'm not scared, because I've come to the place where I understand that there is someone who is greater. There's someone who is higher, that didn't start the pandemic, but allows it for a reason. And we live in a world in 2020 and before where things have changed over the years. We're in a fast-paced kind of world, and this definitely has slowed us down in many ways. It has brought great loss. I'm gonna go ahead and use my moisturizer of choice, and I'm trying this out today for the very first time. I had it in my stash, but I didn't realize that it was a moisturizer. I thought it was one of those glow, even though it says Glam Glow Starter, it's an illuminating moisturizer. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I'm gonna put a little bit on my hand, this amount, and I'm going to just spread that all over my face. And I'm going to use more as I see fit, because I'm trying to get the maximum amount of moisture possible. It smells like, has a very sweet scent. So if you have sensitive skin, I don't think that this would be your better option. I'm gonna add some more so that and it gives me an illuminating effect. I'm looking at a mirror on this side, so if you see me looking in this direction, I'm looking at a mirror, and I can see where it is not a primer. Yes, it does illuminate the skin, and the reason why I want to illuminate my skin is because of the particular foundation that I will be using. It is a matte foundation, and I just wanted to just glide on. I'm going to also use an eye cream because under my eyes are very dry. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the finger here, this amount. I'm going to tap them together, and I'm gonna distribute evenly under my eye. And I just want to encourage us that there is hope. It will not last forever. I know that it is just one of the hardest and the most horrible situations will pass, and I believe that it will pass, and that we will get back to the place where we are restored, and that things may not get back to normal, but there will be a deliverance and a restoration that will take place in the midst of it. So as I operate and function in the spirit of hope and joy that doesn't even make sense, because I've gone through or experienced way less situations in comparison to what is happening, and I have worked myself up in great anxiety and worry. And for this, I am not as worried if I am able to pray for someone, to build someone else up while they're experiencing this, and while they don't have the level of hope that I have. My job is to share that hope with someone else, right? This will not last forever. We'll not all die, but it is for us to really take a look at ourselves and to see how we taken life for granted. We've allowed the thing of technology and upgrades and things of that nature to really move us and shifted us into a fast, quick 2 seconds and I'm done type of lifestyle. It affects our family. It affects our ability to be creative. It affects our patience overall. And so, because things have been moving at such a fast pace, I'm going to spray my Mario Badescu just to refresh my face. This is the rose water. I want to just spray it to add another level of moisture. The sky is still blue and beautiful. The leaves and the branches are still moving. The sun is out. The cloud is where it still sits. And that means it's still another day to walk in hope and to embrace God's mercy that he gives to us each and every day, whether it's sunshine, whether it's a cloudy day, whether there is snow, whether there is storm. And so we cannot look for hope only when the things are going good and when things are perfect, but we still, and the level of hope is definitely, or should definitely be at the forefront in the midst of where it seems as if things aren't going well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little bit. This is a sample size. I would call this a sample size of my Benefit primer. Just gonna take this amount. I think this is probably even too much. And I'm gonna rub it together and I'm gonna put it in the areas where I have pores. I'm just gonna gently rub it in. I'm gonna put some over my nose and in this area on my brows, just to keep my brows prepped for when I'm just before I apply my foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and it's gonna lay a little bit of this product on the high points of my face. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Glow. I'm gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand. I think that's even a bit too much, but oh well, we're gonna just use it all up. And I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to hit the high points of my cheek, and I'm going to work that in the areas that I want to glow. My finger is actually my best tool. It warms up the product much easier and better. And so if you look on the sides of my face, you'll see that there's a glow. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. So this foundation, a lot of people say they wouldn't recommend, and I certainly would not, but I just wanted to give it another shot. So I might call this video Give It Another Shot with a spoonful of hope. What do you think? Let me know. So it is the Marc Jacobs Shamless Foundation. Many of you, it's an oldie. Was it 2009 or 2019 or 18? I believe it's a 2018 foundation. And I'm going to use a beauty sponge to apply the product. I'm just praying to God that it works. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Beauty sponge. So I'm just really shaking it up really well. Did it say to shake it well? No, but I just figured, why not? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. So I'm using this amount for now. I'm gonna just damp it all over. I heard that it's best applied with a damp beauty blender rather than a brush. So that's what I'm gonna do. Should I just put it on my skin? Okay, so let's start here. And they said that it also is best working in sections. So I'm gonna go ahead and work in sections and see. So right off the bat, I see that the application is actually much better when I use a sponge rather than a brush. This coverage is actually a medium coverage, buildable foundation. But I actually like the way that it applies with my sponge versus a brush because it just does not work well with a brush. So I agree that this is a foundation that is best applied with a sponge. There's just no coverage at all. I see something going on here. Still see some dark areas around my mouth. I still see my dark mark pushing through. I didn't do too much to under the eyes because, you know, we're going to be concealing and things of that nature. Am I going to add another layer? I think I'm going to add just one more layer. All right, so I'm going to stop here with coverage because I'd used a lot of foundation on my skin just now. Had I used another foundation, I might not or wouldn't need to apply this much. All right, so now I'm going to take my first concealer. It is the Born This Way concealer and it is in the shade Butterscotch. Take this all over. Since I have the discoloration around my mouth, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It's the LA Color contour stick and I'm just going to mark the area that I want to really add some definition to. And I'm going to go and take a clean sponge. This is from Sonia Kashuk. It came in a set of 3. You can get it at Target. clearly I do not know how to, what we'll say in Jamaica, ride down whistle, because I started talking about hope and what's happening, and then I find that I was not doing the makeup, so I have to focus on the makeup at this point. I think I covered pretty much what I wanted to say. You know, I'm not a pastor or anything of that nature, but I just feel like it is my responsibility to be able to have a voice. Never going to be ashamed of declaring or standing for what I stand for. I represent Christ. There's no going around that. So for those who are not religious, which I am not, this is a relationship. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm going to stand for what I represent, no matter where I'm at or what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Halo Glow powder from e.l.f. I'm going to start off with this one. Another powder that I'm going to grab is my Huda Beauty powder, Easy Bake Loose Powder in the shade Kunafa. This powder is amazing. Again, I would not recommend this if you are sensitive skin. It has a fragrance, but I absolutely enjoy the fragrance. So I'm not going to keep this powder on for long, because I find that when we use this particular powder for too long, it leaves a weird cast. So I'm going to go ahead and take my brush while I grab some of my Studio Fix powder in the shade NC45, my Studio Fix powder. I'm just going to swirl some into my brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend it out. I'm going to go into Fenty's Caramel Cutie. And I'm just going to go ahead and contour with that. And then after which I'm going to bronze the skin. Should I leave it the way it is, or should I add gloss? I really like it the way it is. Tell me what you guys think. Do we like it with gloss, without gloss, matte? Or should I add some gloss to it? Let's add some gloss. Yeah, guys, this is the look. I hope that you enjoy my semi chit chat. Get ready to go nowhere and continue to quarantine, child. I really love this look. It is nice, simple, easy to do. I just really want everybody to just hold fast. Do not worry. Do not fret. This too shall pass. The rules to, you know, remain 6 feet away from each other. If we have to go out to get your grocery or to do a little bit of shopping for your house, for your family. And let's just make this time valuable. What are some of the gifts that are inside of you that you have not yet used and you've been afraid? Tap into your creative side. The most important thing is spending time in the presence of the Lord. Spending time with your family. Spending time with your loved ones. If you have children like myself, I have a son, as we go through this, because this is a wilderness experience and we're going to go through and come out on the other side of this. And in the meantime, just hold on to your hope, because without hope we have nothing. Hold on to your faith. Believe that this too shall pass. So guys, I just want to give my final review on this foundation. I repent because for the first time I've tried this foundation, and I've even tried it on clients, and it just never works. The key to this foundation in particular is to use a blending sponge, no brush. Brush is a no-no. It creates streaks, it gets patchy, it's just not a good look. So if you're going to pick up this foundation, do I recommend it? I would say if it's on sale, go ahead and purchase it if you like. But overall, this is my first time really loving this foundation. I like it. I changed my mind. Yeah. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye. I'm stopping the video for my on sale. You did this? No, I didn't. Was it still running?